You bring up a good point. You are in one of the most expensive areas. I'm sure a lot of people have suggested you move outside so that you can get cheaper land. You can, lots of benefits to that. But this is very intentional. Can you explain that?
This goes back to our mission. And goes back to the idea of we are not here just to do church for ourselves. We are here, God planted us to bring an ancient faith to a modern world. And from the very start, I felt Arlington is critical to it. And as you said, several times we're like, we can get cheaper land out there. We can move closer to where people live out there. Suburbs is logistically a lot easier. But I feel very strongly that God wants us in Arlington because it's a place of high visibility. It's a very prominent area. For those who don't know the DC area, DC is actually very small. Okay, very few people actually live in DC. People live around it. Arlington is one of the prominent areas right outside of DC where people live and spend a lot of their time, and a lot of the DC businesses are located out there. I look at it as St. Paul when he did his ministry. Okay, if you study the mission work of St. Paul where he planted churches, it was very intentional. It wasn't just haphazard. It wasn't just where the wind blew him. All the churches that he planted were on the Mediterranean Sea, okay, along the rim of the Mediterranean. And that was intentional because those are places where those port cities where people are always coming and going. I used to think to myself, it would be so nice to be in a church. We're a high transit area here. So people are here for a year and then they leave, and then here for a semester and then they leave. So I thought it would be so nice if people stopped leaving and people would just stay here and you could really invest. But I actually discovered, no, this is the St. Paul way, is that more people were coming in, and as they came in, they didn't know the gospel. He would preach the gospel to them, and then they would go back to their city and they would carry the gospel with them. So he was able to influence more people across the world by being in one of those port cities. I feel the same as here in Arlington, is that people do come and go, and it's kind of a crossroads of people from all over the place. But it's a chance for this ancient faith to carry to the ends of the world because so many people are coming and going, and it gives us a chance to influence more people.